Hello, my name is Lautaro Diggio, and I am a technical sound designer focused on game audio tools and audio implementation. This is the first video in a series that I'm calling Need for a Solution, a collection of simple, open tools you can freely use to solve common problems in game audio workflows. Today, I'm showing AKLD Event Multibox, a Unity script I built to help you visualize and manage multiple trigger areas for Wwise events. If you've ever been lost trying to find where a music transition is happening, or need a clean way to control several sound zones from a single game object, this tool is for you. Let's take a look. When working on large levels, it's common to get lost trying to figure out where the music transition actually happened. Maybe you're testing different rooms or spaces and constantly asking, where is this music change triggered? Sometimes it's tied to colliders, sometimes to a trigger zone, or maybe it's hard-coded somewhere in the scene. This can get messy and time-consuming. To make that easier, I created a script called AKLD Event Multibox. This tool lets you to visualize all of your event trigger zones in one simple game object using colored boxes that you can fully customize. Now let's take a look at how the script is structured. At the top, we have a public field called Object to Check. This lets us define which object will trigger the event when it enters or exits the box. It could be the player, a puzzle element, or other game object. Below that, we have a list of areas. Each area is a box we can customize individually. Inside each area, we can define three main things. First, under the box, we can set the position, size, color, and rotation of the box. Second, under Wwise event, we can choose what Wwise event should be triggered when the object enters the area. We can also enable debug logs and write a message that will appear in the console. Under on exit, we can choose to stop the music when leaving the box or play a different event. We can also log a custom message when the object goes out. All these options make the system very flexible. You can add as many areas as you want. Everything runs automatically in the update function. It checks every frame if the object is inside each box or not, and triggers the event based on that. So, instead of creating multiple triggers colliders all over the scene, you can now manage everything from a single game object, with full control and clear visualization. Now, we are listening to a simple example using sound effects instead of music, just to show how the system works. Each time we enter a box, a different sound effect is triggered. In the last box, we have chosen a looping sound to demonstrate how the stop event on exit option works. As soon as we leave the area, the sound stops automatically. Now let's move on to a more musical example. Wwise, the music is built using a vertical remix system. We have different layers, and we control which ones are active using states. Each layer is part of the same musical segment, and we use a state group called music to manage which layers are playing. For each state, we created a simple Wwise event that changes the current state. In Unity, each box is set to trigger one of those events when the object enters. That way, instead of restarting the music or switching between tracks, we're just changing which layers are active. This keeps the music more smooth and more reactive, while giving us full control over its intensity. In this example, the object to check is the ball, not the player. But when you have a lot of boxes in the scene, it can be hard to know which one is doing what, especially if they are on different game objects. So, I added two new options to help with that. The first one is called Audio Tag. You can type a tag to group boxes that belong to the same thing, like all the ones related to a game state or a musical change. When you use a tag, the scene view will only show the boxes that match it. If you leave it empty, it just shows its own boxes. For example, in this case, I'm using the tag music to group the boxes that controls music. To do that, I just write music in both objects. The second option is show all boxes. When you turn this on, it shows every box in the scene, no matter the tag. It's useful when you want to see everything at once. These options were added just recently, so that's why you won't see them in the early description of this video. This was the first episode of Need for a Solution. You can download the full project on my GitHub and use it freely in your own games. I will keep sharing more small tools like this to help with game audio implementation. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.